Welcome back to our second video on polynomial operations. In this video, we're going to talk about subtraction. Now, when we're subtracting, it's really important to remember how to deal with negative numbers. So let's start by looking at this example. 4 minus negative 3. Well, subtracting a negative actually turns into an addition. So 4 minus negative 3 is the same as 4 plus 3, or 7. Now, when we subtract a polynomial, we're going to be subtracting a bigger group inside of parentheses. That negative or that subtraction outside of the parenthesis must be distributed to everything inside. I recommend that we start by rewriting this subtraction problem as adding a negative, and then we're going to distribute. Key thing to remember is that a negative times a negative is a positive. So how would we rewrite negative parentheses 2x plus 6? This is the same as negative 1 times 2x plus 6. Now we can distribute so that negative 1 multiplies by everything inside. So that's negative 2x plus negative 6. Here we have negative parentheses 3x minus 1. I recommend that we start by rewriting that subtraction as adding a negative. So this is the same as negative parentheses 3x plus negative 1. Now we distribute. So negative 3x plus a negative times a negative 1 becomes positive. So negative parentheses 3x minus 1 is the same as negative 3x plus 1. This process can apply to subtracting larger polynomials. So again, we're going to start by rewriting all of our subtraction as adding a negative. Then we're going to distribute that negative sign into the parentheses. What we've done now is we've created an addition problem, just like we worked with in the last video. Now we can drop the parentheses and simply add. Let's do this subtraction. Quantity 4m squared plus 4m minus 5 minus the quantity 2m squared minus 2m plus 1. I'm going to start by first off taking those subtractions and rewriting them as adding a negative. So the first polynomial is 4m squared plus 4m plus negative 5 plus, then I'm going to have negative 1 times 2m squared plus negative 2m plus 1. Now I'm going to distribute that negative 1 into that second polynomial. My first polynomial doesn't change at all. So now I'm going to distribute that negative 1. So negative 1 times 2m squared is negative 2m squared plus negative 1 times negative 2m becomes positive 2m plus negative 1 times positive 1 is negative 1. Now this is an addition problem, so I can get rid of my parentheses and just combine like terms. So 4m squared plus negative 2m squared is 2m squared plus 4m plus 2m is 6m plus negative 5 plus negative 1 is negative 6. Do another one. First off, we start by rewriting the subtraction as adding a negative. Negative 2a squared plus a. Instead of minus 1, we're going to write that as plus negative 1. Plus, okay, that subtraction becomes a negative 1 outside of my parentheses. A squared plus negative 3a plus 2. Now we distribute that negative 1 into our second polynomial. Our first polynomial stays the same. Okay, distributing that -1 in. -1 times a squared is -a squared. -1 times -3a is +3a. -1 times 2 is -2. Now we have an addition problem. We're going to just combine our like terms. -2a squared minus a squared is -3a squared. A plus 3a is plus 4a. And -1 plus -2 is adding -3.